Bro, this is so fucking annoying. I hate having to delete shit off of the PlayStation just to be able to record stuff. Even though it said I had like 240 gigs of free space, it still wouldn't let me record anything. I'm gonna be talking about some new shit today. Well, newer shit, I guess, in comparison to some of the other stuff I've talked about. One of the things I've been most excited to talk about, honestly, is the new Motionless single. Well, I say new, it came out in January, but it's been a while since I've made a video or anything. For anyone that's heard it, it's honestly a pretty solid track, especially if you've been a fan for a while, or even if you are a newer fan, if you've gone back and listened to all of their projects and kind of have an understanding of where they came from and what the journey has been like for them. I feel like you can appreciate it pretty well with all the little hidden callbacks and references to older songs and stuff. It's a very stacked song. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there, and they even did like I think it was like an Easter egg hunt basically, where if you could point out all like 15 or 20 references, um, they were doing like a giveaway for, I think it was every piece of merch from the new drop you would get, which I thought was pretty cool. But it was even down to like certain callbacks within the music video, um, and down to the way that their wardrobe is now. Because for those that don't know, they're pretty theatrical, I would say, in how they present themselves. They're not as theatrical as Ghost, where they go like super all out. Though they do it up pretty good, I would say. Just not to that level. When it dropped, I played that shit so much, and it has got me pretty excited for the album. We still don't have a release date, at least I don't think so. I've not really been on the internet too much since it dropped, so I'm not entirely sure. I could be wrong. If I am, someone let me know, please. Um, but at this current moment, I don't think we have a release date yet. We were supposed to get a second single at some point. I thought relatively soon after Afraid of the Dark came out. However, it's April 26th right now, and let me check. Yeah, still no new music or anything. Sonically, I really enjoyed it, and it fills me with hope, honestly, for the album. I like the direction they went in. It was pretty heavy, which is what I'm more fond of in their case, anyways. I do like the, I guess you could say, slower, more melodic songs. However, it's the heavy shit that has my heart, and I don't think that will ever change. If what I've heard is true, and they're kind of going the infamous reincarnate route, then this album for me has so much potential. Oh, that was an undercover cop. Damn. I was trying so hard to avoid that because even though they're not as hard to get out of in this game as they are in Heat, they're still just annoying. Also, if any of y'all have played Unbound yet, I mean, it came out in what, 20... When did it come out? Alright, so it says it came out in 2022 in December, so, I mean, it's been 4 years since it came out, so I feel like if you were gonna play it, you would have done it by now. For me, honestly, I have a lot of mixed feelings about this game. I'm currently playing it just because it's a new racing game, and a few months ago it got added to PlayStation Plus, so I didn't even have to spend any money on it, which is a huge plus. I'm only like 20 hours into it. I played it a lot when I first got it, just trying to get a feel for it and everything, but I put it down, and this is the first time I've played it in probably 2 months. I'm honestly not sure why. There's just something about it that I don't like. The graphics are beautiful, though I have to say I'm not a fan of how they have like the realism quote unquote aspects for the cars and the buildings and stuff. But then they have these weird trails behind everything and like those weird smoke effects, and when you drift there's all these colorful things that happen. And even my character, he just like the almost like the cartoon animated style being blended in when I first started playing it, and I was not a fan. And even now, and it's whatever, honestly. But like, what's it called? The driving effects. That's what it is. Like this shit right here, I'm not the biggest fan of. I liked the tire smoke from Heat. I thought that was really nice. But the driving effects in this game, I think, are just a little bit too much. But it's whatever. To each their own. Obviously, I'm not going to like every single aspect about the game, and that's fine. But beyond that, I mean, the colors and the performance and everything on this game has been really nice. The story, it's, again, whatever. I have followed it. You know, it's very easy to understand and everything. It's nothing crazy. I don't feel like the writing is kind of cringe. I feel like they were trying really hard to appeal to, I don't want to say like the younger crowd, because it's not even like I'm that old. Um, but to me, it doesn't feel like it was targeted for people my age. It feels like it was targeted for more people like my sister's age. Like I'm 24, my sister's 16. Just with some of the writing and like the word choices that they use, it just, I don't know. Enough talking about the game, let's get back to the music. Another new thing that dropped somewhat recently that honestly left me feeling really disappointed was the Strictly for the Scythe project that Denzel Curry came out with like ASAP Ferg, Tia, BK the Rula. I'm trying to think of who else that had a few other people on there as well. But first off, I was a little upset that Denzel kind of took a back seat more so than he did on King of the Mischievous South, where, you know, he had an equal amount of verses to the features, whereas this, it feels like he did more of the hooks and less verses in order to let the features shine, which is cool and I respect that. It just kind of threw me off because I wasn't anticipating that. I did listen to one of the singles, which was Lit Effect, and from that single alone, I kind of felt like I wasn't gonna fuck with the project because it was very repetitive. And I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but that's not my thing. I don't like songs that are overly repetitive. I get, you know, there is, you know, part of the formula or whatever that you have the repeating choruses, but for some reason it just felt like it was too much, honestly. And damn, he got me good. It honestly just kind of left me feeling like I wanted more than what I got from it. I listened to it one morning when I was at work, just getting everything ready to go, and yeah, I couldn't tell you any verse that stood out to me. There was no like individual bar or anything that I felt was like noteworthy or anything, to be honest with you. The production was really nice, but I feel like, you know, Denzel always shit. But I feel like Denzel always has some pretty solid production across all of his projects, really, even the older shit like 32 Zell and Imperial. I mean, he's always just been really good in the production department. No, I wasn't worried about that. I am holding out hope. I did see him say in an interview somewhere, I don't remember the name of the interview, that he did have a like solo project coming out in late 2026, or was it mid to late 2026? It was something like that. So I'm gonna hold out hope for that because I haven't gone back to the Scythe once. I listened to it start to finish, and yeah, that was it. And typically, if I don't like something on the first listen, I will go back and I can normally get a little bit of a better feel for it on the second or third listen and find things to appreciate. But there was just nothing, in my opinion, from that made me want to go back to it. And I did read some stuff about it, like some of people's opinions whenever it came out, and from what I read, I seemed to be in the minority, and that's fine. It just wasn't for me, and that's fine. There is a band that I did get introduced to, well, I guess introduced to. I heard it playing at work, and I just looked up the song, and that's how I found out about it. But they're called Title Fight. I don't know if y'all are familiar with them. From what I've seen, they just stopped making music. Like their last project was in 2015, and ever since then, it's just kind of been, from what I've seen, radio silence. I don't think that they're even together anymore. Like no hints of a single or anything being in the works, which is really sad because from what I've heard, I really enjoy their stuff. The song that introduced me to them was "Head in the Ceiling Fan" off of Floral Green. It's a very just slow, melodic, and overall really groovy track. I feel like it's got a more of a focus on the actual music than it does the lyrics, which I'm totally fine with. Because while for the most part I do tend to listen to music more so for the lyrics, I do have little bouts where I will listen to stuff that is more on the instrumental side. Like I'll listen to more kind of like vaporwave or lo-fi type stuff, Polyphia, that kind of stuff where it's more music focused than anything. From what I can remember from the Floral Green album, that the Head in the Ceiling Fan track is kind of a standout in the way that it's done, being the other ones are a little heavier. I wouldn't say aggressive necessarily, but there's a pretty distinct feel from the beginning of the album to when you get to that song, and then the rest of the album after that song, because it's placed pretty much in the middle of the album. But with me having been introduced to them through that track, listening to the opening track, Numb But Can Still Feel It, kind of threw me for a loop, was, pretty different. But my top four from that album would be Numb But Can Still Feel It, and then Head in the Ceiling Fan. And then the last two tracks, Lefty and In Between. And then, what's it? Is it Shed? I think it's a mostly blue album cover, but there's a song on there called Safe in Your Skin, which is another one that I really enjoy. And it's kind of the same feel as Head in the Ceiling Fan. It's pretty slow, melodic, more so focused on the music than anything. The lyrics aren't super in your face or anything. I feel like they kind of sit a little further back in the mix than anything, but it doesn't feel like they're there with their purpose being the focus of the song, if that makes sense. For me, it definitely feels like the instrumental is what the focus is. More new band, I guess you could call it that. It's two people that I've come across recently. I saw a video of them. It's Engine de Portrine, I think is how you pronounce it. Um, they don't talk in their music. Like there's no spoken word. There's not even real lyrics or anything. Like if I'm not mistaken, there's no vocals at all. Aside from one track where they just kind of like make like an ooh sound, but they've got like a vocoder on or some shit. Um, so I'm not even sure if it's an actual person making the noise or if it's like some weird synth thing that they're doing, to be completely honest with you. Um, I can't tell. But the musicianship is really damn good if y'all are into like math rock or anything like that. Like Primus or what's another thing? Like Buckethead, some shit like that. Y'all will probably fuck with them. The first song I heard was like I don't even know how to pronounce it. It's like Fabi Inc. off their newest project. Like I think it's Volume 2 is the name of it. It's the first song on there. That's the first one I heard because I think that's what's kind of like blowing up right now. Um, yeah, because I saw it was like they did a live recording session in some new studio, and that's the video I saw that the new studio posted out of like Seattle or something. But yeah, I mean those two dudes, they groove pretty fucking hard. And if y'all are into some more like, I guess avant-garde type of rock music, you should definitely check it out. Especially if you're into the more longer songs and stuff, because they jam for quite a while, and it's pretty nice shit. I really enjoy listening to it. But yeah, overall, I think that shit fucking slaps, and I highly recommend it. But yeah, so if y'all are into that kind of stuff, you should definitely check it out, and let me know what you think. Peace.